Good evening. A family from Kent are calling for better awareness of a rare neurological condition that leaves children locked inside their own bodies.
Poppy Allard from Folkestone wasn't born with Rett syndrome, but as a young baby, her mum Victoria noticed almost overnight that she started to regress.
Well, now, aged 11, Poppy's unable to control movement or speech and requires around-the-clock care. But right now, providing the right support is a daily challenge. With more, here's Joe Caution.
This is how Poppy Allard communicates with the world. Not with words, but with her eyes. She's had Rett syndrome since she was a baby, a rare neurological condition affecting 1 in 10,000 girls.
It was almost like we kind of lost her overnight. She was babbling and talking to me one day, and the next day there was just no response from Poppy at all. And she just completely hit a regression, which is what happens with Rett syndrome. And it was like rediscovering her in a new world, but that was a very long process. You know, it was going through a sort of a process of grief, and then, you know, learning the new world that we were in, understanding the condition.
Internally, Poppy is present, emotionally intelligent, but her care needs are significant. Her bones are fragile, she suffers seizures, and she needs major spinal surgery this summer.
So this is the little room. If you want to go, maybe go in there.
But right now, Victoria says giving Poppy the around-the-clock support she truly needs simply isn't possible.
So this is Poppy's bedroom, is where all of her care is done. We've got one ceiling hoist, but it's an extremely tight area, as you can see, and as you can imagine, it restricts her care on a day-to-day basis, so it's very challenging.
The family have been in talks with Folkestone and Hythe District Council to build somewhere suitable for Poppy, with enough room for her carers and her medical equipment, much of which they can't fit in the house right now. While they wait for planning permission, Poppy's auntie and uncle are running the Manchester Marathon to raise money for Reverse Rett, a charity set up by parents of children with the condition.
It's a lot. It means a lot for us, you know, because I know it will help in some way, somehow.
It means so much, doesn't it, to be able to know that this is going into research that may actually, well, I'm sure it will affect, Poppy and other kids with Rett.
Folkestone and Hythe District Council say they're committed to working with the family to meet their needs whilst complying with planning policy. A spokesperson told us that's a difficult balance to achieve. But Poppy's family say until society truly understands her needs, the scales are hardly tipped in her favour.
I love you. Oh.
Joe Caution, ITV News, Folkestone.
Well, let's speak to Andy Stevenson from the Reverse Rett charity, which campaigns to raise awareness about Rett syndrome. Good to talk to you today, Andrew. I mean, I guess this is a condition that many of our viewers may never have heard of. I confess that I hadn't. How common is it, and what's your experience of it?
It happens in about 1 in 10,000, usually girls. And I have a daughter who's now 26. And what happens basically is you take your child home from the hospital, everything seems fine, and they develop normally for a period of time. And around 18 months, they start to lose skills that they've learned, clapping, waving, playing with toys, and then you've got to try and find why that's happened, and that can take a while to get that diagnosis. So they know exactly what it is. Unlike a lot of rare diseases, we know what gene causes it, we know what causes it, and now it's just a case of finding a way to get the protein up to the correct levels in people with Rett syndrome, which will hopefully, you know, improve their lives dramatically.
And as a charity, what are you campaigning for primarily?
Well, we started in 2010, and our aim was to fund the scientists that were working on treatments and a cure. There are still no treatments for Rett syndrome. There's no approved medicines. So our role now that we've got clinical trials starting in gene therapy is to try and accelerate treatments and make sure that everyone affected is in a position to get those treatments.
And I guess you support other families as well who are going through what you've been going through for the last 2.5 decades and more.
Yeah. We talk to a lot of families, especially new families, sometimes when they're newly diagnosed, which is quite challenging. But with 26 years of experience of this condition, I feel well placed to be able to talk them through some of the things that they need to do and some of the things that they can expect as the child grows older.
And just finally, where would you like to get to as a charity? What would you like to see for people who have this syndrome?
Well, ultimately, we want a cure. We want a world where Rett syndrome doesn't exist. And we are on the way to that with the first gene therapy trials already started and the initial data being really positive. So it's just building on that, hoping that the trials continue to go to plan. And then if and when the first treatments become approved, wherever that may be, it's our job then to fight to make sure that that treatment is available here in the UK.
And I know fundraising is a big thing for you all, and I know that you're running a marathon with 50 or so other people at the weekend. We wish you best of luck with that. Thank you for talking to us on the programme.
No problem. Thank you.